I thought I was the only one who has this problem and notices how stupid a lot of people are. Trust me, I work around these people on a daily basis. And some people come out with some things and you're like, what? Now, I did mention this in a live stream, but I'm going to mention it again. So, you don't know what type of work I do. I went to someone's house the other day and they said to me they had an electrical fire in the house. So I'm like, yo, how did that happen? Yeah. This individual said, oh, well, it was a faulty cooker, faulty electrics, and yeah, I put some clothes on top of the hob. So it's partly PC World Curry's fault for selling me a faulty cooker, the council's fault for having faulty electrics in the house, and a little bit of my fault for putting the clothes on the cooker. So it's all three of us. It's all three of our fault. What? What do you mean it's all three of you lot? What do you mean it's partly PC World Curry's for selling you a faulty cooker? What do you mean it's partly the council for having dodgy electrics, allegedly, as per yourself, who's not an electrical tester? And partly, yeah, it's a little bit of my fault for putting the clothes on top of the hob, which started the house fire. Yo, before you put those clothes on top of that hob, there was no house fire. Let's say the whole cooker unit was between 6 months and 3 years old. Up until that point that you put the clothes on top of the hob, there was no fire. So therefore, it's your fault. There are obviously dodgy electrics, faulty electrics can cause house fires. But trust me, it's not that common. Do you know how much times I go into people's houses and they have dodgy, faulty electrics? To the user, to the occupier, they might not know that the electrics is dodgy. They might not know that the electrics is faulty because obviously the sockets and that still work. But when I start doing my testing, I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's no continuity. Or these test readings are too high. Oh my God, they got the wrong size fuse in. Even if, you know, the ampage exceeded the cable rating, that fuse would never flipping trip. Or it definitely won't trip in time. That cable will melt like sugar in hot tea before that flipping fuse will trip. And there's been no problem. The installation has been like that for 25 years. So I'm not saying that, you know, if you think your electrics is faulty and that, just leave it. No. But what I'm saying is, the amount of times I go to people's houses and that, and yeah, the regulations say that it was okay back then, 40 years ago, it's not okay now, and the installation has had no problems. There's people, I go to their house, they lived there for 25 years, say, this is the first time I've ever had an electrical test. And their thing is out of date, but no problems. So, yeah, I see it all the time. Just on a day-to-day basis, you will meet people and they can't understand why they're not living the life that they want to live. They can't understand why they're struggling. So many people who are of age, you get me? Yeah? They're in a conundrum, heat or eat. They can't afford to turn on their gas. So they rather have, you know, a full belly, freezing cold house. They're in a conundrum whether or not they should turn on their gas or have a full stomach. They don't understand why. The reason why you're in that position is because when your manager over the years offered you that overtime, when your manager offered for you to work on weekends, when you could have volunteered to do overtime, when you could have volunteered to do weekends, you said, no, I need to live my life. Go and live your life. It's up to you. But I'm telling you, in order to live the life, you're going to have a somewhat shit life. I mean, I don't call working 60, 70 hours a week a shit life, really. I enjoy grinding. But, you know, in order to have the life, you're going to have no life at some point. In order to be free, you have to put yourself in your own prison. So in order to have that ultimate freedom where you can just get up anytime you want, you don't have no worries, no financial stresses or nothing like that. You got bare money coming in. It's just a game. In order to get to that stage of freedom, you have to put yourself in jail. So, yeah. on a daily basis, I think people just get more, yeah. This is, for me, it gets worse. Like I notice it more and more and more and more. It's like everyone's like a fucking idiot. Anyway, man, that's it for today, man. Stay, it's done.